Hey everyone, and welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Frontier Airlines Mastercard. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like. That just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $9,000 in free stocks in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least 1 penny. At that point, Webull will be sending you at least 3 free stocks worth, once again, all the way up to $9,000. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the Frontier Airlines World Mastercard. Starting off, we're going to be talking about how you can earn points with this card. So you will be earning 5 points per dollar spent on eligible purchases at flyfrontier.com. Then you'll be earning 3 miles per dollar spent at restaurants. And then on all other transactions, you will be earning 1 mile per dollar spent. Now with this card, there's also going to be a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $500 within the first 90 days and also pay the annual fee, then in that case, you will be receiving a spend bonus of 50,000 miles. So once again, you're only going to have to spend $500 and also pay the annual fee within the first 90 days to receive that bonus, so not all that difficult to do. Now, as far as the annual fee goes, the annual fee is going to be $89. It is going to be a fee that you are going to be receiving, as I say, on an annual basis. Now with this card, you're also going to be receiving some other perks as well. So just for instance, you can earn a $100 flight voucher for every account anniversary after you spend at least $2,500 or more on purchases during your card membership year. Then you can also unlock family pooling. So you can actually share your miles with family and friends, making it easier for you or your family or friends to reach different point milestones to redeem those points. Also, there aren't going to be any blackout dates either, and your miles won't expire as long as you make at least one purchase every 12 months. You're also going to be receiving complimentary online access to your FICO credit score, and then you're also going to be receiving an award redemption fee waiver. So when you book an award ticket and use this credit card to pay the related taxes and fees, starting from $5.60 for a one-way ticket. And then also you are going to be receiving Zone 2 priority boarding. And then also for the first 15 months with this card, you are going to have a 0% introductory APR on balance transfers as long as you complete the balance transfer within the first 45 days. If you aren't able to complete the balance transfer within the first 45 days, you will not be receiving the 0% APR on them. Now, as far as what a balance transfer is and whether or not that'd be worth it, let's just say, for instance, you currently have another credit card, hypothetically speaking, one with Capital One, and let's say, for instance, you're paying a pretty high interest rate, let's say like 29% on a pretty high balance. So then every single month you're paying hundreds of dollars of interest. In that case, it might make sense to transfer the balance from your Capital One credit card over to this card. That way you no longer have to make those high interest payments with your Capital One credit card. And then with this card, for the first 15 months, you will not be paying any interest either because you'll have the 0% interest rate. However, there are going to be some fees associated with that, which we are going to dive into in just a moment. So as far as the APR and fees go, on purchases, starting out, your purchase APR is going to be anywhere between 21.24 to 29.99% based on your credit worthiness. As far as balance transfers go, like I mentioned just a moment ago, as long as you complete it within the first 45 days from account opening, you're going to have a 0% introductory APR for the first 15 months. However, if you don't complete it within the first 45 days or after those first 15 months are up, your balance transfer APR percentage is going to shoot all the way up to 21.24 to 29.99%. Then as far as cash advances go, on this channel we always recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This of course should not be considered financial advice, though, just my own personal reasons. Usually there's a pretty high interest rate with them, plus you're going to be paying a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know that your interest rate is going to be a whopping 29.99% plus a lot of fees as well, which I am going to dive into right now. So as far as those fees go on the cash advances, on each cash advance there is going to be a fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as the balance transfers go, even though like we mentioned just a moment ago that you're going to have a 0% introductory APR on them for the first 15 months as long as you complete it within the first 45 days, even though you're not going to be paying any interest for the first 15 months on them, there is going to be a fee associated with that. That fee is either going to be $5 or 5% of the amount of each balance transfer. So in the case that you do a balance transfer of $1,000, in that case, there is going to be a fee of $50. Then as far as some other fees go, luckily with this card, there are no foreign transaction fees, so you can definitely travel abroad and use this card because you will not be hit with any extra fees. Then as far as late or return payments go, there is going to be a fee on those of up to $40. Now for the first time, you might be able to call in and see if you can get that fee waived if you happen to pay late. However, I definitely would not push your luck too much further past then, because even though they might waive it for the first time, probably the second or third time they will not waive that fee. So I would definitely recommend maybe setting up auto pay, marking your counters, whatever you have to do. Make sure that you are paying on time. And then finally, as far as the annual fee goes, there is going to be an annual fee with this credit card, which once again is going to be $89. And you will have to pay that annual fee within the first 90 days of having this card in order to earn that spend bonus. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and drawbacks of this credit card. So we're going to start out with the good things. The first good thing, of course, is the fact that you can earn the 50,000 mile spend bonus as long as you're able to spend at least $500 and pay the annual fee within the first 90 days. $500 within the first 90 days is not going to be very difficult to achieve for most people, so a very easy spend bonus to achieve. Also with this card, there are not going to be any foreign transaction fees, so you can definitely travel abroad with it. You don't have to pay any extra fees. Then you're also going to be receiving a 0% introductory APR on balance transfer. So if you currently have another credit card out there with a pretty large balance that you're paying a lot of interest on from a month-to-month basis, it could make sense to take advantage of the 0% introductory offer on those balance transfers. And then finally, they also have the $100 flight voucher every account anniversary as long as you spend at least $2,500 within your card membership year. So now that we went over the good things of this credit card, at this point, we're going to go ahead and dive into the drawbacks. The first drawback, of course, is that annual fee of $89. So each and every year, you're going to have to sit around and evaluate whether or not paying $89 for this card is worth it for the benefits that you are receiving in return. Also, of course, you are going to be locked into using Frontier. So if you don't currently fly Frontier a lot, or if you do fly Frontier and you don't really like it, then in that case, you're going to be locked into Frontier, and that may not go too well for you. And then finally, you're also not going to be receiving any free check bags with this credit card, which is a pretty big drawback considering that Frontier is one of those airlines that charges fees on things like check bags and other things like that. So just to sum things up here, all in all, for the first year, this card is probably going to be worth it for most people, especially if you currently fly Frontier Airlines. Now, obviously, if you're completely against flying Frontier, then this card is not going to be for you. Then after the first year, it really just depends on your lifestyle, how often you fly Frontier, how much you like the airline. And if you really love the airline and you fly there a lot and you plan on continuing to fly with Frontier a lot in the near future, this card could be worth keeping past the first year. However, for most people, it's probably going to make more sense to switch over to another travel credit card after the first year, one that's going to give out better perks, benefits, miles, and everything like that. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.